Miss Sarah, and this is At Home Makerspace, where every week I show you how to make fun projects with things you can find at home. For our first video of the new year, I thought it would be fun to take a look back at our first video from last year. How many of you remember this? Hello, and welcome to our first video. Now this week, to launch our program, we will be making launchers. Your challenge is to make something that will launch a lightweight object like a cotton ball. Now that video wasn't really in black and white, but I have learned so much about how to make Makerspace videos since the spring that it feels like a long time ago. So for this week's video, we are actually going to remake our original video. Now I'm a maker like a lot of you, and I know that the more I practice making something, the better I get at it. And that can be true for any kind of making, whether it's making drawings, making food, making Lego projects, and it can be fun to go back and remake something you've made before to see how much you've improved. So this week, we will be once again making launchers that can launch a lightweight item like a cotton ball. Also, you could use a marshmallow or a yarn pom-pom. If you want to see how to make one of these, I'll have a link in the description. Now, let's see how to make those launchers. Here are all the launchers we'll be learning how to make in this video. When making your launcher, your design might be inspired by an existing device, like this catapult. Notice that diagonal piece that looks a little bit like a spoon? You can put an object in the bowl of the spoon, pull it back, and release it to launch your item. Now let's see how you can make your own version of a catapult. You'll need some craft sticks. I have 7. A spoon, and 4 rubber bands. Start by attaching your spoon to one of your craft sticks. You'll attach it using a rubber band. Simply wrap the rubber band around the craft stick and the spoon a few times until it feels secure. Next, we're going to take a second craft stick and attach it to the first one. We're going to line up the edges that are on the opposite side from our spoon and use a rubber band to attach them together. Set this to the side, and now we're going to grab the rest of our craft sticks and put them in a bundle like this. I have 5 craft sticks in my bundle. Now take a rubber band and wrap it around one end to hold your bundle together, and then you'll do the same thing on the other side. When you're done, you're going to open up the 2 craft sticks, almost like opening up an alligator's mouth, and insert the bundle inside. Scoot it down to the bottom, and your craft stick catapult is ready to launch. To experiment with this design, you can change where the bundle is to change the angle of the spoon. You could add or take away craft sticks to this bundle. You could see what happens if you use smaller craft sticks, or you can see what happens if you switch out the plastic spoon for a metal spoon. Have fun experimenting. Another device that might inspire your design is a slingshot, like this. A slingshot uses a big rubber band to launch an object. Here's how to make your own version of a slingshot. You'll need 2 toilet paper tubes, a hole punch, scissors, tape, 2 rubber bands of the same size, and a pencil. Start by cutting down the side of one of your toilet paper tubes. We're just going to be cutting a straight line from top to bottom. Next, we're going to roll up our toilet paper tube so it forms a smaller circle. It should be small enough that your cotton ball will sit on top and not fall through. Now we're going to use our tape and we're going to tape down our seam to hold everything in place. And when we're done, you can see our smaller tube fits perfectly inside our full-sized tube. Next, we're going to set our small tube aside and work with our large tube. Here on the edge of my tube, I'm going to be cutting 2 small slits, like so. They're about a thumb's width apart. Then I'm going to cut 2 slits directly across from my first set. You can use your scissors to help you line up these cuts. Now we're going to return to our smaller tube. Grab your hole punch and we're going to punch 2 holes on the side, one directly across from the other. Make sure you don't punch your holes too close to the edge of the tube or it could tear later on. Now grab your pencil, and this actually works better with a sharpened pencil because it's a little bit easier to work into the hole, but even if you have an unsharpened pencil, just keep working it through. This pencil will become a little handle for us later on. All right, now our small tube goes inside of our large tube. Make sure that the side with the pencil is opposite the side with the slits. Now it's time for our rubber bands. We're going to take one of our rubber bands and put it between the slits at the top of our large tube. So work it in, and then the other side. So it looks like this. Take the other end of the rubber band and loop it over the pencil. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side with our remaining rubber band. So put it through the tabs at the top of the large tube, then bring it over the pencil that goes through the small tube. Now it is ready to launch, so grab your cotton ball or whatever you're using, insert it, pull back on the pencil, and to experiment with this design, you could see what happens if you replace the toilet paper tubes with a longer tube like a paper towel tube. You could also try designing a slingshot that looks a bit more like a traditional slingshot. This one is actually a cross between a slingshot and a cannon. We'll learn a bit more about cannons next. A cannon is another device that could inspire your launcher's design. They look like this. You load an object inside the tube, then an explosion in the tube causes the object to launch out. Here's how to make another launcher inspired by a cannon. You'll need either a toilet paper tube or a cup, a balloon, and a pair of scissors. I'm going to show you how to make it using this styrofoam cup. Start by cutting the bottom of the cup off because we want it to be a hollow tube. If you're using a toilet paper tube, you can obviously skip this step. With the styrofoam cup, I'm just inserting my scissors into the side and then I can cut completely around. Now I have a hole at the top and the bottom. All right, for our next step, we're going to grab our balloon and tie a knot in the end. I just wrapped it around a couple fingers and then put the end through the loop that I made. Tighten it up And then we're going to cut the top off of our balloon. Start by cutting just a little bit off the top. You can always cut more if you need to. Now we're just going to open it up and put it over the end of our cup. And you can actually choose here which end you want to put your balloon over. I chose to put it over the smaller end. And I'm just going to slide the balloon down until it feels secure. Now you can insert your cotton ball and launch. You can follow the same steps to make one out of a toilet paper tube. Another thing you can try is inserting your balloon so the knot is inside of the cup. So I'm just going to flip it here so you can see what I mean. Now the knot is on the inside, and I'm just going to make sure it's nice and secure. All right, so we can see the knot on the inside. You can grab the knot from the inside of the cup to make a little depression like this, a little belly button. Then we'll put our cotton ball inside and we can launch. Does the knot work better inside or outside of the cup? Have fun experimenting to find out. Now that we've finished making our launchers, it's time to test them. Now there are a few different tests that you could try. One would be a test to see which launcher launches things the farthest. To do this, you'll need a long empty space like a hallway. Put a mark on the ground and launch all of your launchers from that same place. Then you can use a tape measure to see which one goes the farthest. Another test you can do is a test of accuracy, which is seeing how well the launcher launches your object to a specific place. One way to test this would be by placing a cup or bowl on the ground and seeing which launcher does the best job of getting your object into your cup or bowl. Another way would be to tape a target onto the wall and see how well each launcher does at hitting the bullseye. Now I'll include a link to a printable target, but here's how to make your own. You can draw your own target with a tool called a compass that looks like this, or grab a few different sized round objects and a pencil. So let's start with the compass. A compass is a tool that helps you draw circles by rotating a pencil around a central axis. So set the pointy bit in the middle of your paper, then rotate your pencil around, and you should get a circle. I started out with a small circle. Now I'm going to make the distance between the point and the pencil larger, and this will help me draw a bigger circle. Now I'm going to put the point back in the exact same place and draw a circle, and as you can see, this time the circle is larger. So go all the way around. And now I'm going to do the same thing one more time. I'm going to increase the distance between my point and my pencil, line my point up, and draw my third circle. I think it does work best to grab the little handle on top and then use that to help you rotate the pencil. And with my third circle, my target is complete. If you don't have a compass, a great way to make a target is simply to trace circular items of different sizes. So I would actually recommend starting with your largest item. Here I am tracing a saucer. And for my smaller items, I'm going to be using a couple of cookie cutters. There are all kinds of round objects around your house, plates, cups, bowls. You might have cookie cutters like I do. Just look for a few that are different sizes so you can have 3 rings. All right, now I'm going to repeat that with my smallest circle. All right, so now that I have my 3 rings, I'm going to just touch up anything I need to, add a line, erase a line. If you want, you can color your rings different colors or make each ring worth a different number of points. Adding points can turn it into a fun game. We hope you enjoyed our relaunch of our launcher Makerspace. If you made a launcher with this week's video, we'd love to know which of your launchers worked best for distance or accuracy. We'd also love it if you could take a picture to share with us at the library. You can do so through our Facebook at www.facebook.com/FHCPL. Through our Instagram, our handle is @FHCPL, or you can send us an email. Our email address is makerspace@finleylibrary.org. And finally, to go along with our relaunch theme, I encourage you to try remaking something this year that you've made in the past. It can be a really fun way to see how much you've learned and grown. And so with that, I hope to see you next week for a brand new Makerspace video. See you then! Bye!